Gig sites like Upwork and Fiverr used to be the easy button for making money online. But today, these platforms are more crowded than ever. Stack on rising fees and cheap and demanding clients, and it's no wonder freelancers are leaving these sites in droves as they realize they're no longer sustainable. The good news is that you can still build a successful freelance business. You just have to cut out the middleman. So I'm going to give you the exact strategy that's working in my business and for other freelancers right now, so you can avoid the frustration and wasted time. We're going to cover how to find clients without gig sites, how to earn more from your skills, and how to create stable income without chasing gigs. We'll start with finding clients. The whole reason freelancers ever started using gig sites in the first place was the promise that it would make finding clients easier. But if you've tried them lately, you know that's not the case, at least not anymore. So it's time to get back to the tried and tested strategy of outreach plus reputation. Outreach starts with sourcing leads. So this is where you go and find businesses that you want to work with. There's lots of ways to do this. There are databases, there's Google, there's LinkedIn. So lots of ways that you can find clients, and then go and find an email address typically, or maybe a LinkedIn profile for someone who works at the company. And that person needs to be the decision maker that would actually hire you. So the person that you're actually trying to get in touch with. That might mean combing through their website or using an email finder tool like hunter.io. And you just compile those leads in a spreadsheet. And I want to point out here that you're not just contacting anyone and everyone. You are strategically picking the businesses where you see an opportunity to improve and you know that you can help them. And then you contact them. So you're going to email them 3 times, unless they respond the first or second time. The first time is the initial outreach, and then 2 follow-ups max. I don't recommend doing any more than that. And when you reach out, you're going to share your booking link, which you can set up with Google Calendar or a free tool like Calendly. Because the goal of your outreach is to get them onto a call where you can pitch your services. And look, if you've been using gig sites, I know it feels very productive to be pitching proposals into the void and constantly tweaking your profile and your Fiverr listing, but that does not equal paying clients. You need to get face to face and start building real connections with your clients. Otherwise, you're going to be pitching into the void forever. Those real connections are the ones that will last. But your outreach won't be effective if you don't pair it with a rock solid reputation. Your reputation comes in when clients are making that first decision of whether they should book a call with you, and again, when they're deciding whether they should sign a contract with you. So at these points, they want to see some proof. I'm talking about case studies, testimonials, work samples, and content that shows how you think. This is totally different from gig sites where you're super reliant on your reviews and your star rating. And it only takes one unhappy client and one bad review to totally tank your performance in the algorithm. But when you take control of your online presence, your reputation isn't controlled by an algorithm. And when you take control of your lead generation, you can get in front of more of the right clients because you decide who you pitch to. But here is something that I wish I knew before I started pitching. Getting on a call and asking clients what they need help with isn't enough. That's what gig workers do. They sit around and wait to take someone's order. If you want to establish yourself as an expert and charge premium rates, you need to walk into that call with something to sell. You need a niche offer. And a niche offer is not social media management, it's not web design, and it's not digital marketing. It's a service that solves a specific painful problem for a specific type of client. And it separates you from gig workers because it shows that you understand what your clients need before they even have to explain it to you. So if you want to stand out and earn more, you need to know who your ideal client is, what is costing them money or hindering their growth, and how you can solve that problem with your skill set. Here's an example. Let's say I'm an email marketer. I wouldn't just go out and pitch my email marketing services to anyone and everyone because that's way too broad. Instead, I would pick one specific type of client. Let's say direct-to-consumer skincare brands doing at least $50,000 a month. Then I would identify one critical problem that email marketing solves for them. For example, maybe they don't have their email flows in place to recover abandoned carts and encourage repeat purchases. Now I can wrap that in a clear I help statement. Something like, I help growing D2C brands increase repeat revenue by building automated email flows that recover abandoned carts and drive second purchases. And boom, the value is instantly clear. When you get specific, you stop sounding like a gig worker and start sounding like a strategic partner. And after 8 years of freelancing, I can tell you that is what clients really want. They don't want to have to rely on gig sites. And they don't want the management burden of someone who has to be told what to do. They want someone who will come to them and make their life easier by taking ownership of the outcome. Now here's the real secret to building a successful freelance business without gig sites. Offer something that clients need every single month. This is your retainer offer. So when you're thinking about who is my ideal client and what is their problem, put it through that lens of what problem do they need solved on an ongoing basis. Because when you have retainers, you don't have to do all that legwork of finding clients over and over again. So this is how you get off the project to project hamster wheel and cut down on the amount of time or even eliminate the amount of time that you have to spend on outreach. In fact, I haven't had to do any outreach in at least 2 years, and some of my clients have been with me for 5 years. I don't pay any fees to gig sites. My clients actually respect my expertise, and I don't live with that chronic stress of wondering where my next project is coming from. So create your outreach system, own your reputation, create your niche offer, and incorporate retainers, and you will have a stable business that pays you every month without having to rely on gig sites, without dealing with proposal burnout, and without having to give 20% of what you earn to a platform. And if you know this is the kind of business you want to build, go watch this video next where I go deeper into the strategy behind turning your skills into predictable income.